Okay, next video. I haven't made a YouTube video in like 10 years. Yesterday I made one and I got such great feedback on it that I decided to do another one. So today is my 1972 Ford F-350 Crew Cab Special. This is my shop truck. I use it to pull the two trailers that you see in the background. Well, one trailer I guess. The other one's hidden. But I got a flat deck trailer and an enclosed trailer that I pull with this thing. I bought this truck 4 years ago in Campbell River, BC. Before that, it came from the Yukon. It was originally bought brand new in Whitehorse. It was never a logging truck or a railroad truck, as most crew cabs are. It's always been a civilian truck. And because of that, it had a pretty well optioned interior. It had wood grain, carpet, power disc brakes, and power steering, as well as a 360 FE and an automatic. The 360 has since been replaced with a 390 that's bored 40 over, making it, I believe, 406 cubic inch. It's got a mild cam, Edelbrock intake and carb, set of headers, 2.5-inch exhaust with Flowmaster mufflers. It's got a nasty exhaust leak because the original exhaust dips down below the cross member, and whenever I go over speed bumps it bottoms out, so it's just about blowing right through. Pretty soon I'm gonna have to do a new exhaust system on it, but in the meantime this one still kind of works for now. The truck is lowered. I lowered the front 7 inches. That was done with a pair of dropped I-beams. I cut one coil and went from a 30-inch tire to a 26-inch tall tire. The back of the truck, I actually cut the back of the chassis off behind the cab and back half the entire truck with a 96 F-450 rear clip. Reason I did that was to convert it to dually for starters. They never ever made these trucks with a box and a dually. It was only a flat deck that came with dualies, and all the boxes were single wheel. So I did that to get a dually rear end. It gave it bigger brakes, sway bar, better springs for towing. And when I clipped it like that, I Z'd the frame 6 inches to lower it. That way I still have all my stock suspension still. By doing that, however, I had to raise the floor 6 inches. But as you can see, there's still plenty of cargo space. It's all full of junk right now. I got ramps from the car trailer, a box of spare parts, a cool Ranger roof rack that I don't keep on the truck because it actually whistles going down the highway and drives my dog Doris insane. There's an auxiliary 60-liter fuel tank there, as well as the original fuel tank behind the cab. Or sorry, behind the seat in the cab. Both of those are functional and hooked up. The inside of the truck, I redid the bench seats in copper and black with diamond pleats, both front and back. Did the matching floor mats as well. The door panels are still original. The dash is mostly original. When I got the truck, it had a cassette deck in it, so I put a factory radio back in it. I have a hidden Bluetooth amp for a stereo system still. I've converted the truck to air conditioning. What else have I done in here? I got a couple gauges. The volt gauge actually doesn't work. Oil pressure gauge and transmission temperature because I do a lot of towing. I've got an inverter for charging all sorts of various things. Pair of gloves, cup holder. I've named the truck Brown Sugar. That was from when I first bought the truck, and it had that cassette deck in it. I had a long drive to make, so I stopped at a record shop and bought a couple cassettes. First one I put in was Sticky Fingers by Rolling Stones. Brown Sugar came on. I figured because the truck's brown, kind of matched. I also have this cool accessory fan. It was a gift, just to keep the back window clear. It does get pretty humid here in the winter time, so that keeps the back window nice and visible. Let's open the hood. Oh, check out this cool little detail. Crew cab special. Under the hood, it's not detailed or anything. It is It is a work truck, so it does get used. Nothing too fancy to look at. Previous owner upgraded it to electronic ignition. There's the factory power brakes, factory power steering, the new air conditioning compressor. It did have a camper on it at one time, so it's got a battery isolator. I don't know if it works. I've never used it. It also has this cool little battery charger that was in the truck when I got it, and I just kind of left it. But yeah, it's got some dings, some scrapes, some rust. It'll all get there in time though. That's really all that's left to do on this truck, is just the body and paint. I've got a set of rust-free doors, rust-free front fenders. The original box that was on the truck was caved in on the passenger side, and it came with this box, which was originally red. I just painted it in cheap Canadian Tire brown because it wasn't as noticeable, or it didn't stand out as much as having a red box. But eventually the truck will get painted back to the factory brown. It's got a nice metal flake to it in the sun. These rear fenders, because this truck never came as a dually, if you converted your truck to a dually back in the day, you could get aftermarket fenders that went on. They were pretty generic looking. None of them really matched the truck that well. My first plan was to get a pair of F-600 front fenders, like that covered the front wheel opening on the bigger trucks, and cut that up to make rear fenders out of, because then it would all match. But I could not find a set, and eventually I ended up getting these they're from a 1980 to 96 Ford truck, and I ended up narrowing them almost 5 inches in here just to get the wheel to sit properly in them. But otherwise I don't think they look too bad. Not my first choice, but a good second choice. So my exhaust system, when I built the tailpipes on this, I didn't have a back bumper on it, and I just kind of cut them short. Eventually I got the back bumper on and realized that my tailpipes blow right into the bumper. So that's what all that is from. That's on the list of things to get fixed one day. Let's go for a drive. Truck's been pretty reliable. Driven it all over Canada, into the States. Took it to Speed Week at the Bonneville Salt Flats a couple years ago. That's what prompted the air conditioning install. Oh man, that was a hot, long drive. Yeah, away we go. Turned out to be a pretty nice evening, considering it was rainy all day. The power brakes sure are nice, as is this one-finger power steering. Probably shouldn't go too far, I guess. It's frowned upon to drive and film, so we'll just go up to the next parking lot and turn around and come back. It does ride a little bit rough with that heavier clip in the back, but when I have a trailer on it, it doesn't squat. Tow's really nice, and it actually rides pretty smooth with the trailer. When I get the 47 done, or at least roadworthy, that'll be the main driver then, so I don't have to worry about bouncing around in this thing too much. Alright, coming back into the parking lot. Do a little downshift. The kick down, it works good like going up mountains and stuff, but just for day-to-day driving, at least on that hill, I usually have to manually pull it down in the first gear. Just old vehicle quirks. Alright, here we are back at the shop. So there it is. My 1972 Ford F-350 Crew Cab Special. Oh, now you can see the other trailer. That's the other trailer I tow. It's got my 72 Ford Cortina autocross car. We'll do another video on that another day. Anyways, see you later.